Right, hello everybody. I'll be with you in just a second or two. I'm just having a few issues here getting connected, so getting the connection sorted out. Just give me a second. I don't know. And I hope, I hope if you like that, and that's what we're going to talk about very quickly. Sam Allerdyce is on his way to Elland Road apparently, but there is another rumour going around now that Leeds are chasing the current Blackburn Rovers manager. I can't see that there's any truth in that at the moment at this time, but we have got an echo as well. What about Sam Allardyce? Well, we'll start first off, I think, and the question is farewell, Orta, farewell and goodbye. And he's had a lot of critics in the fan base, and I'm sure I don't really know what to make of it. Well, I do know what to make of it, and it's probably going to be unpopular. I think Victor Orta probably, he's had these players recommended to him. Maybe he's not done enough research. He's not done enough homework, and perhaps Orta is a victim of his own success for us. He's got us into the Premier League, which is what we always wanted. We never wanted to be down in the Championship. We never wanted to be down in League One. Whatever you want to call it. Stand by while I just check the audio on that one. Hello, man, Josh. Yeah. Right, we're good. So, I think I'll be quite. I think the place will be a little bit empty without Victor Orta. He was always colourful, charismatic. He didn't mind voicing his opinion when he was getting flack from the supporters on numerous occasions. And I suspect that after the Bournemouth game, he probably knew that the writing was on the wall for him, and it's been in the works as this for a few days, as these things are usually happening in and behind the scenes. Hello, man, Josh. I'm just talking a little bit about Victor Orta at the minute. I mean, I'm fine. I'm just rather surprised with what's going on, to be honest with you. The chaos that we're in, another management structure, infrastructural change at the club, and don't forget this includes all the backroom staff, the coaching methods, all the rest of it, and it must be hard. I mean, professional footballers have the critics. People talk about the salaries and all the rest of it, but good God, it must be hard work being a Leeds United player at the minute. Seeing all of this drama unfold right before your very eyes. No sign of any stability. No sign of any normality. It's just like God, what the hell's going on with that thing? It's just like a complete roller coaster, isn't it? He never stood back. Yeah, I think so. Just a minute. I mean, I think we've got a freeze frame coming on here. We've got a bit of a power surge or something going on. In my opinion, like you said, Orta always said what he wanted to say. Just a minute while I get that done again. It must be. I think it's an electrical problem. Yeah, because when I switch that light on there, it beggars belief that we're in this situation. I don't know how or where we're going to go from here. Who's going to come in and replace Victor Orta? I mean, there's no immediate need to replace him just yet, but the sooner the better, really, at the minute. And the memes, of course, have already started. There's one with Big Sam in a McDonald's, an American McDonald's, I might add, with an inflatable blow-up suit, having a laugh at a joke, and you just sat there and you're thinking, good God, I can't. I honestly, I couldn't make it up. I don't know if I'm fuming. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. I don't know if Big Sam is the right man to take us and guide us to safety. I think I'd have probably stuck with Grathia, if I'm brutally honest. But I mean, Orta should have seen JKA previous record at clubs released by PSG. Understandable given their star-studded lineup. Salta, Monaco struggled for first-team appearances. Yeah. Same pattern at Leipzig. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. As a sporting director, you expect that they're going to do the homework, and it's almost as if he's just, in some cases more than others, he's just literally taken a blind punt at somebody and, right, let's get him on the books. And that's what you're telling me, let's get him in. And there's been no we spoke about this in my live stream yesterday. There's been no or very little due diligence about a lot of these signings that's coming. All right, he's got lucky. Mate, has he got lucky with Nonto? Has he got lucky with a couple of other players that he's brought in over the years? Has he got lucky with Bielsa? And that seems to be in the fan base a lot of what is being said. I mean, he's a charismatic, flamboyant character, and there's no wonder people hate him. There's absolutely no wonder people hate him for his overall characteristics, demeanours during the matches and stuff like that. I mean, whatever happens to Victor Orta, I think that the main thing has to be that we just say, farewell and good luck to you, whatever your future endeavours are going to be. But from a Leeds United point of view now, we were all hoping for a bit of consolidation this year, and the year prior to that, and it's literally just it's just like a complete roller coaster, isn't it? I'm beginning to suspect JKA cost the club 40 million, losing a court case to Leipzig. Yeah, JKA, any managing director would have lost their job for that debacle. It strikes me that, that's okay, but who's doing the accounting and who's defending the club from a legal perspective? These are legal contracts. And why hasn't anybody been made aware that these are the consequences? And are you sure this is the right move? Because once you're in for it, you're on for it, and that's it. And if you fail to meet your obligations, they're going to take you to the cleaners. They are. It's absolutely it's absolute madness at Elland Road. I've said this. I've said a couple of things previously. I would love to just see, for a week, what the actual inner workings are at board level. Because at the moment, I think we've got a tussle on between the board, the 49ers as well. I think there's been some interferences going on there. Yes, now I believe we are down, as I said yesterday. When the other team scores a goal, we lose our enthusiasm. We're not bothered to fight back and get back into the match. Yeah, we'll go on to that in a moment or two. But I think just closing out Orta, that's it. He's done and he's gone. But it's interesting, and I think the club did something similar when they got Grathia in. That there was a huge delay about when are the club going to release a statement? When are the club going to release a statement? And eventually it came. It came on the website and stuff like that. Everybody sort of knows what's happening before we get anything official from the club. At the minute, it doesn't look like there's any sign of the club issuing that statement that that's it, we're confirming Allerdyce is in, and we're going to go to the next sentence is we're going to go to Man City on what is it, Saturday, to get pumped by Haaland and the gang. I mean, you just couldn't make it up. Are we going to stay up? How are we going to stay up? Guys, you tell me, what do you think in the comments? I'll see your comments and I'll read and reply to them. On the flip side, he recruited Bielsa, Rafinha, Gelhardt, Drama, Greenwood, Nonto, Somerville, Melier, Adams, Wober. So he has to be given his due respects. You know, Michael, I've gone on to a lot of Leeds channels today, and there's been absolute hatred for Victor Orta, and I'll quote loosely what one of them said. You know, what has he actually given us? What has he actually given us? I'm like, hello. He's got us in the Premier League. He's had us in there for 3 years. He's signed Nonto. We've had Bielsa, Rafinha. You know, all these other achievements and things that he's actually done. And people, and I don't know if this is a mindset of a lot of people, but we often, as humans, I think, focus a lot on the negative, too much on the negative, and not trying to take a balanced view. And I try to take a balanced view. And all right, he's spent a lot of money, but he's also brought a lot of money in. Has he done enough to cover the books? And it seems that, yeah, all right, we're not making massive amounts, but we're not overall in the accounts losing massive amounts at the moment, which is a good thing. If we get relegated, those accounts are all going to turn red very, very quickly. We'll be out of the black and in the red. I honestly think that the business dealings haven't overall been that bad. It could have been better, definitely, but it could have been a lot worse. And I said that word there, due diligence, that he's getting these recommendations in, and he's been buying these players, and has he been doing enough due diligence? Or is it just a case of, well, so-and-so down in so-and-so club says that this is a good player, so I'll just sign him, get him signed. Here's a contract, get him on a plane. We'll have all the camaraderie and all, you know, the cameras at Leeds Bradford waiting for him to come. And he missed out on a lot of other players, didn't he? The Liverpool striker, you know, that was a big one, wasn't it? And he came at Gakpo, was it? A couple of others as well. You know, you look back and you think, God, you know, we're aiming for some big money here, going in for some real big players. Sam Allerdyce. Well, let's have a look, Bandit. I'm gonna read these out. So yeah, good point, Michael. Some really good points there. Sam Allardyce, this is a bad move. He was a seasoned man when he got involved with match fixing when he was England manager. Why would we open ourselves up to this nonsense? And if we get rid of Grathia, and that sounds like that is the what we're doing at the minute. We're going through some sort of legal process in the background that we're going to get rid of Grathia, and we're going to get Allerdyce in. And I honestly think that you know, the contract that's been, I said it previously, the contract that's been put in front of Grathia means that as soon as he walks through the door, he's literally got a squad who have no respect for him because he's on a game-by-game contract. They don't care, and we've seen this a lot. We've heard it a lot. Oh, you know, they don't care. They go around on the field. They're this, they're that, they're this. Well, of course they don't care, because we've got a manager who literally nobody respects. Respect is earned, isn't it? It's something that's won. And it's not given. It ain't free. So straight away, everybody say, you know, it. In my opinion, it's a desperate attempt, and it also is an attempt at deflection. And what I mean by that is, you know, we said it yesterday. Stu was on, and we said that Leeds are going to hang him out to dry. We need a scapegoat. We're not doing very well, and Javi's the scapegoat. But it turns out that, we're now going to have Orta as a scapegoat. We've had this SAB hearing, and they've given the vote of no confidence, and I understand that. It's no good, but it starts right from the top, doesn't it? And it's Radrazani that's the problem. In my opinion, it's not Orta, it's not Javi, it's Radrazani, and I mean, he signed off on these things. He must have done, or the 49ers are signing off on these things, and someone in a position of great power isn't answering the questions. We're not hearing anything, and it's going to be an interesting few weeks, isn't it, between now and the end of the season. I've heard a lot from other streamers, and the reason I was in one, I'm not going to name names and stuff, but I said, I'm fuming about what's going on. Why are you fuming? Well, I'm not going to explain it. I'll take my own time and I'll do it myself. And it just seems to me that if you think you're going to go down, and you're pretty much consigned to that, why are you changing your manager if you're going down anyway? Because this Sam Allerdyce, he isn't going to guarantee that we'll stay up. He isn't going to save for the day. I mean, if he does, he's going to be idolised. And then there's also the fact of what we're going to do next season. Are we keeping Allerdyce, or we're looking for something more permanent? Again, we're changing the whole management, the backroom staff again. It's more disruption, new people, new ideas, players who are completely... I mean, there's no wonder they're going out on the pitch and they're all absolutely bloody drained. I bet they're fed up to the back teeth of what's going on at management and boardroom level. I certainly would be. There's no continuity in the club. There's no stability. It's just, well, we haven't picked up a win in 8 games or whatever, and that's it. And it can't be allowed to go on like that. I mean, I know things are bad, but I had an outside thought that Grathia he'll probably keep us up. I think we're going to be all right if we keep him. Now, the uncertainty is is at fever pitch, isn't it? Everybody is losing their mind. No, definitely not now. All our up and coming games are very tough, and those teams, majority, are aiming for Europe. Newcastle, Spurs and City, that's 3 of the top 5 that we're playing. And we're fighting for our lives to stay up. So we will. I mean, you won't know, man, Josh, but back in the day there's a team called Wimbledon. And is it just a case of, right, we're going to pack everybody in, we'll stop them playing through the middle, we'll stop them playing through the wings, we'll stick a couple of fast guys up front, a couple of runners, and as soon as you get that ball, bang, straight over the halfway line, and you run onto it, and you try and beat them that way. And that's literally what I think we're going to do. It's going to be Route 1 football. And that is literally it is. I've seen I saw another channel earlier on titling their video "Last Throw of the Dice," and this literally is it, isn't it? It's the last throw of the dice. It's all out pure desperation at this moment. I'm absolutely devastated it's coming to this, as is everybody else. And I think that I heard somebody else say we've all got to be careful what we wish for. We're going down, unfortunately. Well, if we are going down, and we're not going to keep Big Sam on, what's the point in putting Sam in? Is Sam Allerdyce literally going to, improve Ilian Melier's game that much in the next 4 games? No. Is he going to teach Jack Harrison how to defend in those 4 games? No. Is he going to add an extra 10% of pace to Luke Ayling's game? No. Is he going to improve pass accuracy of the entire squad? No. All right. So, is he going to motivate them though? Is he going to make them believe that they're in a club that's worth fighting for? That they're worth fighting for this badge? And I think that's one of the good things about Sam Allardyce. He is a good motivator, but I think I've just been reading actually some of the. I'll read some of this stuff to you in case you're on a mobile phone. Leeds were in League One, the Championship, for 16 years before Rads and Orta came. They brought back ownership of Elland Road from the council, paid between 7 and 10 million for Bamford, got Ben White on loan. You know, Orta, anybody who's slating Orta and Rads, I mean, it's. In one way, it's deserved, but in another way, you know, we're being overly critical. We're forgetting where we've come from, Michael. And I think a lot of fans are that way inclined, and they're so upset. They'll just spout people will just spout anything off when we're upset, right? I try to take a balanced view. But in this instance, I think we've got it wrong. As I said, I also wonder what the interferences from the 49ers is, and the 49ers Enterprises is on this. And when I say interference, what is their influence on this decision? That, you know, right? He's been in charge since February, January, whatever. You get him out and get somebody else. Who have you got? Oh, Sam Allardyce is top of the list. It's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, the guy hasn't managed for God knows how many years, and he's literally talked his way into the job, hasn't he? I mean, if you'll go back to the podcasts of his, didn't he say a few weeks ago, I know exactly what the problems are at Leeds United, and I can go in there and fix them. It's just like, well, if that's your opinion, Red Rosani, bring me in as some sort of analyst. You know, you could pay me $5,000 a week or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'll analyse these other teams for you, and I'll show you I'll tell you exactly what, you know, how we need to be lining. I'll be like the assistant manager. It's insane. I mean, the guy is qualified. There's no doubt about it. He's been in management a very long time. I think I was reading about 1989. So he's been around a long time. I'm very disappointed that the players don't show any enthusiasm or passion for our club. The fans travel so far to watch the team play, and the players couldn't care less about performing or not. I agree. I mean, I think this is the main bugbear of everybody concerned. That in the last few weeks, after that Crystal Palace mauling, that we've completely lost our is it mojo? We've completely lost any direction, any self-respect, and we already know that there are a number of individuals there that are literally just hanging on until the day that they can get out. And if that's the case, and Allerdyce finds them, he's got a decision to make. You know, you either put your ideas up or you're out for the next 4 games. You can go on an early holiday and don't come back to training. And I need people who are wanting to play for the shirt now and play for the club. And we need to get everybody around there buzzing, get them G'd up. And this is the fight that we need to keep this club in the Premier League. And that's really, I think, that his main strength. That's the one main strength that he's got. Out of all the teams that he's managed, I think he's only been relegated from the Premier League once. So there we go. I can understand people's anger, but I remember when this club was before they came in. Yeah, Bates, Chilino, people do have short memories. Yeah, oh yeah, you're right. Absolutely bang on. You know, at one point I thought we're going to end up we'll be a non-professional football club, and Elland Road will become a supermarket, and we'll end up playing up at Guiseley or Harrogate Town or somewhere like that. And football clubs have come and gone over history, haven't they? I mentioned one there earlier, Wimbledon. I mean, I don't know what's happened to him. Wasn't that? Did it become MK Dons and all this other stuff? It was that. I mean, that was drama, wasn't it? What was going on back then? Back in the day, the criminal Big Sam is here for the beer and a very nice payday. It's not far off. It's not far off the truth, is it, Bandit? I mean, what contract are they going to put in front of Sam Allardyce if he takes it? Oh well, we'll put you on like for like with Grethia, so you got game by game. That's not a step forward, is it? You're back to square one. You've then got a manager who's got no authority in the dressing room, on the training pitch, or is lacking that authority that I'm here to manage you for the next 12 months, so you're going to put your ideas up, or 2 years, or whatever the deal is. I mean, Sam Allardyce is actually down to 68 now, 68 years old. But I mean, look at Crystal Palace. They get rid of Vieira, and Palace were doing all right under Vieira. They'd had a bit of a rough start to the year, but a lot of their points had been amassed, I think, probably before the World Cup, hadn't they? And they get rid of Vieira. It's not good enough. Bring back wheel Roy Hodgson out of the old people's home and put him in charge. And they're flying, absolutely flying. Crystal Palace. It's unbelievable. And you just sat there. I wish that had happened to us. Take an example against Palace. After Palace scored their second goal, they scored their next 3 in the next 24 minutes, which is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. Hello, disabled team. Good evening to you. It's a very short stream, is this one? I don't know if I got it wrong. I think if we get Allerdyce in, I don't think it's a good move for us. I don't think it's going to do anything to just the outcome of what's coming. But you never know. I mean, if we show up to Man City and get a win at the Etihad, it blows it right open. It blows the Championship right open again at Arsenal. Arsenal will be, oh my God, I think we're going to have a few Arsenal fans loving Leeds after, if that happens. Hello, disabled team. Stuart, yes. Hello, Stuart. Yeah, I'm just going to go down here and say, when we beat West Brom 5-0, Sam Allardyce was the manager of West Bromwich Albion. Yeah, it's hey up Lee. Hey Lee, all right. Yeah, I missed that one. Sorry. Gary, could you... Hang on a minute. Bandy says, Gary, me and you could talk our way into a job at Elland Road. I don't want to get political, do I? But, I mean, it's Leeds United are they're on a par with the Tory party, aren't they? It's absolute madness. I think that we have to get rid of Grethia. He hasn't gained any respect from the players, and I think that's to do with contract, man, Josh. I do. Bring someone in that's new, but after we recognise the outcome of our season, we should then go and get a proper manager. Sorry about this, guys. That chat is absolutely flying along, so I'm just going to try and keep up with it. Brighton, West Ham, Wolves, Crystal Palace have been in the Premier League 5-6 seasons. It's a slow burn for those teams, but careful recruitment. Those teams have become battle-hardened. Yeah, absolutely. We should have given Skabala for the last 4 games. I would rather Skabala have it, because he knows the players. He did great for us against Manchester United, and for that little period that he was in charge, he said that he openly didn't want it, and I'm just wondering what the reason is for that. Don't think he really went into it too much. Yes, we're in a bad state, but we beat Blue Manchester with 10 players and we can beat them again. Far-fetched, yes, but he who dares wins. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. I don't know if you watched that Mark Goldbridge, but is it Goldbridge? He's pumped a video out today about what's going on at Elland Road. So quite a lot of it is not mentioned. Perhaps he's not wise to what's going on there at the minute. But I was sat there, I was like, I can't honestly believe I'm hearing people talking about this stuff. I mean, there's literally like no mention of Orta. The biggest game this weekend is what affects us, doesn't include us. It's the Foresters Southampton game that will have a huge impact on who stays up and who goes down. This is it, isn't it? You know, I said that we only need... We're sat there literally relying on all those teams below us losing or drawing, and we only need one of them to now pretty much get 3 points, and we're going to be in it, and it'll be too late to escape for us. And that's my biggest concern, and I think everybody's right. Big Sam said the same when West Ham were in trouble. He's just desperate for work, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, you're out of the game that long. You're in successful podcasts. You're doing all this media work and all of that stuff. And I find it just an unusual appointment. If it had been me, I'm at that age. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I could be bothered. I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. He's obviously not happy what he's doing, but I mean, if he's gonna manage Leeds United, I would like to see the end to the or a pause, if it's just for 4 games in this Sam Allerdyce podcast. I want him to be, you know, and I think he will get involved. I think he'll be heavily involved in the players and stuff like that. Let's have a look. Gary, yes, of course, I got that one already. Leeds will be in a much better position if we bounce back compared to 2004 relegation, where we had massive debts, FFP points reductions. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people forget about those. League One and Championship, 49ers will invest plus parachute payments. I agree to a certain extent. This 49ers takeover, there is talk going around that they'll only take us over if we're still in the Premier League. I mean, I can't tell you if that's true or not. I've not specifically looked into their website or business dealings, but the American corporate world is all about how can we pay less tax and acquire more assets. That's what it seems like to me. And is Leeds United going to be treated as an asset? And we discussed this on our in a live last night, that and we sort of alluded to the fact that it's just a bit a business dealing for them. You know, 300 million, 350 million, whatever the club's valued at. It's pocket change to these guys, and. Are they going to show any interest in the club? And I kind of said, you know, if you think if all the fans think that the 49ers are going to come in and miraculously get us competing with the likes of Newcastle, Man City, and you know, these are the oil-moneyed clubs, you've got another thing coming. It's literally just being used as a tax write-off. Is it being used just as an investment and all the rest of it? The reason I said that was look at what's going on at Chelsea at the moment. Look at ask Man United fans about the Glazers and the Liverpool fans about FSG. And I think Neville and Carragher were talking about this, that, you know, Klopp is literally protecting FSG like Ferguson protected the Glazers when they came in and took over and kept all the attention away from them. I hope I'm wrong. But don't expect money, but not the vast amounts that perhaps some people are thinking about. The redevelopment projects, all of that stuff is on hold. by the sounds of it, it's all taken a bit of a back burner. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hello, Michael Brown. Yes, at Michael Brown. If he keeps us up, it's reported that Big Sam will pocket £1 to £3 million. Not bad for a month's salary. Yeah, it's $3 million. The payment is apparently, and it was the Bournemouth coach who mentioned this during his press conference. Every position higher up the Premier League you get just over £3 million in bonuses. Or payments, should I say? So it's huge money, but it's £1 to £3 million is a cheap price for staying in the Premier League. You never know. The teams ahead of us, if they stop winning, the teams below us, they start with. It could all change. It could literally all change. It's just so tight, and nobody can call it. It's just crazy. It really is crazy stuff. I think I saw that one earlier. I don't know why. He's more bent than a Cumberland swirl sausage, Mandy. Well, he is, isn't he? He's had all these. And I mean, I love watching that Darren Farley. I don't know if you ever see that Darren Farley TV, and the comedy and the stuff that he comes up with, the script writing is absolutely genius. So we're gonna get plenty of mentions, I think, over the next few weeks on Darren Farley. I can't wait to see what he's got to come up with. It's just you either gotta laugh or you're gonna cry and have a total meltdown. Darren Farley TV. If you don't know who I'm on about, you're gonna have to look at it. It's just genius. And he takes Big Sam off. He's brilliant. 3 Mentos pie and 10 pints. That'll sort Brendan Aronson out. Sheffield United were relegated 2 seasons ago, yet with the same players and a few additions, they have bounced back within 2 seasons. Plus, they have briefly had transfer embargo. The silver lining is there. There's a lot to be optimistic about. I mean, this season, it's not just us, though, is it? It's other club. Every single club has had some kind of drama. A lot of the other clubs. I mean, we're replacing our manager now for the second time this season, and doesn't it make up something like the 13th or 14th Premier League manager change in one season? It's a complete record. It's unheard of in the past. It's madness. Yeah. So shout out there, hello from Lee and Disabled Team. As Bandy said, we should have given the chance to Sakabala here, and there's a point at Old Trafford, which is the first time we didn't lose by 4 goals at Old Trafford since we came up. Yeah, always struggle against the old enemy, don't we? Which is, yeah, I think so too. I don't think that it's anything more bent than a Cumberland sausage, but you are right, Stu. Genius. Hello, Lee, our secret weapon. Yes, of course. Yeah. It's Lee. You're right. I understand that now. That makes sense. Okay, the 49ers have a commitment to increase their shareholding in the club in the summer. If Leeds go down, they pay a lot less for the club. I thought about this. Have a few players had their ears bent a little bit, or is there some money going under the table that nobody sort of knows about? Or, look, we can make some really good promises to you, but just try and, I can't see that. Surely not. But this is football. Corruption exists in the game. It's been around for a long time. Back in the 80s, it probably wasn't that bad, but like now, it's literally just open season, isn't it? It's just insane, and all of that stems from Blatter and everybody else. The football clubs was just sat there. Well, top man at FIFA's bent. They're all bent, so we might as well, cook the books or whatever it is that we're going to try and do. And are the 49ers going to pick Leeds up at a snip, at a cut price? It depends how serious they are, doesn't it? I mean, what is the level of knowledge? What is the level of passion? Is there somebody inside 49ers Enterprises who's a Leeds fan who's like, well, you know what? Let's go have a look. Portfolio investments. They don't just own the 49ers, do they? They're located in California, as we know. Investment activity. A lot of this is blurred out. Seed VC, unattributed series. What's that? Leeds, you know? Yeah. On the unattributed. Yeah, a lot of that's sort of like what I'm looking at is redacted, but you can't really see very much. You have to sign up and get membership into some of these websites to get the inside track about what they're actually what are they actually about and stuff. But there's no. I mean, I've just done a quick Google search. There's no sort of 49ers. Let's have a look. Maybe I've put that in incorrectly. I don't know. Pitch book. Yeah. Investments 5. Portfolio 4. Active. Electrical equipment, media and information services, business productivity software, leisure facilities. Some of the other investments they've got. I seem to think that they're worth about $5.5 billion, and like with anything else, isn't it? People sit there and hear these huge numbers. That isn't cash. That's not cash sitting in a bank. That's assets. So is it assets under management? Whatever that is, and that's like physical things that they'd need to sell in order to generate that amount of cash. So they're not going to be coming in. There may well be. I wonder how much tax he will pay on it. Corporation tax, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. It's a complex matter. I don't want to go too much. Text green, game over for if Forest win against us. Text green, game over for us if Forest win against the Saints. Yeah, it's madness, utter madness, isn't it? Leeds United, the new Tory party. Well, that was my soundbite. You think back to that time with was it Liz Truss, and who was it before that? I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Unfortunately, Big Sam comes with a baggage that tarnishes his image following allegations of malpractice. He was caught in a sting on camera and had to leave his role as England manager. Yeah, the only England manager with 100%. So far, all the other results are going for us. There's still a chance win or draw against Blue Manchester. Who knows? Yeah, I think so too. 68 managed England along with other clubs such as Albion, Bolton. We might not stay up, but he might do it in the Championship. I don't think he'd want us in the Championship, to be honest with you. He's not. He's not. I think he probably sees himself as an elite manager and in the top flight of English football. I have to listen to those that have insider knowledge. The 49ers have 46% stake in Leeds. They see Leeds like Newcastle, one city club with a big history, loyal fan base. The potential is there, absolutely. It seems to have all been spouted up against the wall, doesn't it? I think under what's going on at the minute, are they orchestrating or are they influencing Radrazani in some way, shape or form? It would be so interesting to get an idea on the inner workings of what that relationship is, who's pulling the strings, and how are those strings being pulled. Like I say, I was looking at Sam Allardyce earlier on, and it was West Brom. I think they were 19th in the table with 7 points from 13 matches, when he arrived, he was unable to get them through, suffering his first relegation from Premier League after 17 seasons as head coach of the top flight. I mean, it's an unbelievable effort, isn't it? What's that? Nominees for December PL2 Player of the Month. Is that Geldart? Anyway, I'm just looking at the Premier League website about our man Big Sam. As coach, 537 matches, wins 178, draws 145, losses 214, goals for 631, goals against 748. I seem to think that he has the last team he was in charge of, the win rate was about 43%. I mean, that counts for nothing, doesn't it? On average. In 2007, he was appointed Newcastle manager after 8 successive years with Bolton, and he parted company in January 2008. Back in management with Blackburn the following season. 2 mid-table finishes for Rovers before he departed the Lancashire club in December 2010, appointed West Ham manager June 2011. He fulfilled that task as West Ham beat Blackpool in the Championship playoff final at Wembley. Yeah, the West Ham that's secured his safety in 2012-2013. He's had an unbelievably long career, hasn't he, in football? If there's anybody who can do it, is it Big Sam? I'm not so sure. I think the jury's out. I think we're going to have to see what he does against Man City. I imagine we're just going to go there, park the bus, and hope that he's gone for goal difference. And it's going to be a horrible game from a Leeds point of view. I don't expect any exciting football. Don't expect lots and lots of attacking. Expect quite a bit of Route 1, thump up the park, sitting deep, and such as Jack Harrison and a few other big names. I think are probably gonna a few of the other quote unquote attacking forwards are probably gonna find that they're benched. In favour of something that's more traditional, but I could be wrong. 4-2-3-1 apparently is his preferred. Apparently, according to this that I'm reading here. Sam Allerdyce has a lot of management experience. Yeah, we've seen that one. I don't know who you listen to, Michael, but I mean the square ball seems to know quite a lot. Phil Hay talks and writes some great articles. Always seems to be on point. There's a couple of other journalists about. I mean, if you know anybody else other than journalists, stick your recommendations in the chat. We'll certainly have a look. 49ers are not stupid with their state. Leeds, one of their guys flew into the country for have an interview. Was so impressed that the 49ers had a big say in his appointment. I took a screenshot, and I was sat outside one evening at the local where I'm from, and I was back in the UK at Christmas. Where I live's right under the flight path of Leeds Bradford, and this Gulfstream jet flew in, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like somebody's got a bit of money, nice bit of equipment." That when I tracked the flight, it was it was a leased jet, or I think it was something like Gulfstream ownership, and the flight originated from Miami, but it wasn't a commercial airport. It was something called Miami Executive. And I was like, I wonder if this is. It was about December time, December 28th, and I always remember thinking, I wonder if we're getting somebody down at Elland Road that's got some connection to to the 49ers, and I also wonder if that was part of the plan with Jesse, with the three American lads who we've signed, that Leeds want to have a bit more of a presence in the USA. Interestingly enough, myself and the disabled team were talking about this. We were looking at the analytics, and I said to them, my second most popular geography is actually USA after UK. So I mean, I don't know. Someone in America's consuming the videos. It's interesting, and I did get a comment about Wilfred Nonto, and I'm thinking, don't tell me somebody's no. If we analyse the stats against Palace, we had 7 shots on target. They had 8, yet they managed to score 5, and we managed 1. Another big problem for us is we don't have someone to score the goals. Well, this is it, isn't it? The formations are off. Putting Rodrigo up front on his own, and I mean, I'm thinking back to some of these games, and I'm like, what is Rodrigo doing defending? The Bournemouth game, I think the first goal, we spoke about it last night. Jack Harrison gets absolutely done by their star man, right? Their forward. What's his name now? Dom Solanke, wasn't it? And I'm sat there thinking, if these guys are dropping back from midfield or attacking midfield places, and they're in their 18-yard box, near the 6-yard box, how are we expected to go and counter-attack them real quick if that chance comes along? I don't know. Which is essentially a top flight of English football. It is. What are your opinions about Meslier? How might Big Sam change the lineup? And I think he's probably going to try and identify those stressed players. Those ones are probably who've had a hard few. When I say a hard few weeks, the ones who aren't performing or haven't performed up to standard. They're a little bit off the pace. The video replays will show him that. Is there anybody in that squad or in that starting 11 that you might think, well, we'll get rid of, or we'll bench them, or just give them a break? They've had a few hard weeks. Who would you like to see benched? Who would you like to see dropped? I think he'll probably look at Meslier as a potential source of weak goals, and I'm wondering if he's going to give Robles a shout and say, you know what, why don't you have a shout in between the sticks? And I think if he takes over, I think we're going to see a lot of changes in the squad. I listen to GER, who is a Leeds content creator. The Leeds United View is his podcast, right? That's a good one. And regardless where Leeds are in the summer, they will invest, depending on if Rad sells more in Premier League, less in the Championship. Yeah, it's gonna be a cut price fire sale if we're relegated. It stands to reason, doesn't it? We're not as valuable in the Championship as we are in the Premier League. The TV exposure and everything like that. And a few, I'm right in saying maybe the disabled team said, correct me if I'm wrong, that all they get fed is the Premier League. It's the Big Six, and mainly everything else comes second. And there's zero mention of Championship. Like, there are probably fans in the USA who have no idea about the Championship and the fact that you could go down from the Premier League. And when you're in there, oh God, let's just not go there. I really don't want to go there. Although I haven't seen Robles play, Sam Allerdyce likes to give players a chance, so there's a possibility of dropping Meslier and starting Robles. Yeah, I think so. I think he'll probably I think he'll know already who he wants out and who he wants in, and I think, unlike Grathia, and I think if I remember rightly in the press conference, Grathia said that there was zero opportunity or very little opportunity of the development squad, the younger players getting a chance to break through. It's something that Leeds have done historically. Give some of these guys a run out. Is it worth the risk? Are they going to be any worse than what we have? I've been calling for Giabi for a few weeks now, and if you've seen my previous videos, I've literally just benched McKennie and Aronson and said, we need to be thinking about replacing, freshening things up. If we're struggling, we've got no pace, no longevity with Tyler Adams. These other guys can't cut the 90 minutes. The stamina to get through 90 minutes is huge as well, isn't it? That's correct. Yeah, I thought it was correct. It's I always try and retain the stuff that's said in the live streams. Do you have any thoughts about who you'd like to see in the starting lineup, in the starting 11? Any changes? What changes would you like to see? It's an interesting one. Probably Robin Koch, and I think I've mentioned Robin Koch in a previous video that he's had a lot of. Has he even missed a match for us? He might have missed only one or two, if that. And I thought perhaps Robin Koch needs a bit of a break. But who do you replace him with? And the other option is, of course, Strauk. Or do we look deeper into that? We also signed a guy. Was it Monteiro? 18-year-old, 19-year-old. He came in with zero fanfare. Very little publicity or anything like that. Picked him up, basement bargain, centre back. Is it worth a punt on trying any of these guys? I'd like to see Somerville and Nonto start every game along with Koch. Is it worth giving Koch a rest? Because he's come up. I don't know. I don't know, mate. Has his confidence dropped a little bit? Has his stamina dropped a little bit? Is he injured? Is he carrying an injury? It's an unusual one. I don't know. I think as long as we're willing to give 100% for the shirt, I really don't mind, as long as it doesn't make much difference. Yeah, I think when it comes to Saturday, nobody's going to have us down for even getting a point. We're pretty much down for getting a real beating by the looks of it. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I mean, the only way I think we'll beat Manchester City is if Guardiola insists that they all wear slippers. or barefoot, or he decides he's going to give the under-15s a run out. Recruitment has been mixed, but no solid challenger to Ilian. Yeah, if he has poor form, yeah. Brighton dropped Sanchez at the weekend, brought in Steele in goal for the Wolves match. Most teams, Premier League, have two good keepers. I think, have we got four? We've got four. I mean, a lot of these guys, you've never even seen them play. A lot of the time, you're looking on YouTube for clips of. Robles seems to be very athletic, very dramatic, shot stopper type showman, if you like. He seems to be like a showman in the nets. If the Joel Robles one clips that I've seen, it's all very theatrical stuff. Oh God, here we go. We've lost something. Is the camera overheating again? I don't know. I am still here. Cleeson keeps getting mentioned. Yeah, Klassen keeps getting mentioned. Yeah, it's. Just give me a second, guys, while I just reboot that camera. I think it might be overheating. But I mean, I've got the AC on, but I don't know. Maybe it's struggling to keep up with the number of live streams and stuff that watch-alongs that I'm doing. I don't want to use the laptop cam. Well, I'm gonna leave it there with you guys. Unless you've got anything else to discuss, I think I've said quite a lot there. It's not great, is it? I just hope that when we show up on Saturday, I don't know if I'm gonna bother doing a preview video. I mean, it's Man City. You know, when was the last time they lost a game? Erling Haaland became the record goal scorer in the Premier League, didn't he? A couple of days ago. Is it 50 goals in all competitions or something daft like that? You know, we're likely to get well beaten. I think that's being polite, isn't it? If we show up, try our best. That's all we can ask for. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for your input, Michael. That's been really, really useful. I've enjoyed seeing some of those comments, and those are things that I'll be looking at certainly in the follow up when I do a bit more research and see more about these podcasts and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see what comes next. Hold on a minute. Against Brentford when they lost, yeah, that's going back a little while though, isn't it? Joe Robles played for Wigan in their FA Cup final win over Manchester City in 2013. He spent a season at Everton. I mean, this guy is a good bench warmer, isn't he? And he's been about a bit, I think, by the sound of it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens on Saturday. Thank you so much for joining. All the very best to you. Try and get a good night's sleep. And let's see what tomorrow brings, and if we get a press conference out of Leeds. I don't think we've got anything through yet officially. I suspect that we're not going to get anything until tomorrow anyway. There's nothing new on the website by the look of it, so it's the message to supporters, and they're quickly trying to bury the Orta news with replacing it with other news. So yeah, there's no sign that Allerdyce is officially the man yet, but all fingers point to that's it. He's in and he's done and he's over the line. Let's see what happens overnight. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning and sitting checking the phone and stuff. Take care of yourselves. We're matching on together. Let's hope that we give it a good try on Saturday. And you never know, I might see you before then. All the best. Cheerio. Thank you again, man, Josh. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. You're so kind. Yeah, I will do. Take care. Bye-bye, buddy.